We've been going through extracts from Kitab Bariyyah, My Exoneration, which Hazrat Sahib wrote about how when a trumped up case of murder was laid against him, interestingly, where Muslims joined Christians to try and get him sent to prison, that case was completely fabricated and dismissed. And in that book, Hazrat Sahib discusses the three criteria or standards by which you can judge the correct teaching. And he talked about Muslims, and then last week I started reading about the Christians. And Hazrat Sahib says that the teaching, because it comes into practice, thus its objective and purpose cannot be hidden. But against that, prophecies generally remain unknown. Thus, in accordance with this certain principle, the Jewish people, as against the Christians in their debate, are truthful and correct. For the Jews gave precedence to the teachings, and they interpreted the prophecies so that they did not contradict the teaching. But the Christians interpreted these teachings in a way that contradicts the teaching. Apart from this, we know that the way Jews interpret these things are authentic because that is what they had heard the prophets, peace and blessings of Allah be upon them, from them. There is a sect who followed Hazrat Yahya, and they're still to be found in Syria. They too oppose this belief of the Christians, the rest of the Christians, and they support the Jews. And this proves that the general Christian population is in error. Thus, this belief of the Christians is extremely weak. Indeed, it is embarrassing. The second way that you can judge or recognize the truth is rationality. And rationality pushes every person away from the Christian belief. Christians believe that wherever the preaching of Trinity has not arrived or got to, such people will only be judged by the Quran or the Torah and not for not believing in Trinity. Now, this shows that Trinity or belief in Trinity is against rationality. Because if it was a rational belief, then whether you've heard of it or not is irrelevant. You should be judged against it. So people should be judged for denying Trinity. The third way of finding the truth is heavenly science. That is to say that for a true religion, that a true religion does not depend simply on fables and stories, but in every age and at every time, the doors of heavenly science are open and heavenly signs are shown, so that it is known that that living God has a connection with them, and that living God who supports the truth has a connection with them. It is sad that in the Christian religion, this too is not found. We are told that the time of signs and miracles has been left behind. And rather than present a sign at this time, they present old tales. It is obvious that if Jesus, to prove his Godhead, had shown a few signs to some people, then in this day and age, for the educated people, there is a greater need to see signs rather than the illiterate of his age. For these people cannot understand the Godhead of a humble person. There is no logic, there is no philosophy which can give the certificate of Godhead to such a person who prays all night and his prayer is not accepted, who in his own lifetime showed that his soul was weak and foolish as well. Thus, if Jesus is the living God and he hears the voice of his followers, then it's essential that he shows heavenly signs to take them away from an embarrassing and irrelevant belief. A man, for his full satisfaction, is always in need of heavenly signs and to see them. His soul is thirsty and hungry that it should see its God through heavenly signs, so that he can answer the atheists and the philosophers and the agnostics. Thus, a true religion does not close the door of heavenly signs to those who seek after God. Now I see that in the Christian religion, the path to finding the God by any of these three means has been closed. And I'm astonished what support they have for worshipping Jesus. How unfortunate are they that the heavenly doors are closed on them and rational argument pushes them away from its door. I will end here